Was that?
Mask on?
No. I just put it on just to take it off. Mask on.
Yeah. Greetings, folks.
Greetings to the world.
Yes, man. All the supporters of the Afro Trini View. We live on IG again tonight, folks. Right? So we have Orisha Lashe, Karen, and we have Mr. Kevon Foderingham, the mind behind the ECR. Right? Before we start, we're going to do the sponsorship.
So, Mask by Ogunwumi is one of the classics here. This is one of the Mask and Francis, probably the first or second batch last year.
Right, man.
Still a favorite. I still love it, but we come to Africa.
Right.
Right. T-shirt is the Nubian Experience, protected by Obia.
But tonight, I like that. Fortunately, today was the Classico.
El Clasico.
El Clasico.
Biggest football match
I really feel to change my clothes because I'm bad still. Sponsored by Lokallynk, right? Lokallynk. Don't worry, the link will be in the thing. You see that it's full kit. Pants, top, and I have a jacket too. I really feel to.
No, I have it on our way. I'm here today. This used to be my dread. But still, Davidson Watches still in the house.
Yeah. And Kevon is also
creative.
But
he literally went.
Right, and he also, as you all remember, my beads, Green Violet, when he free from ECR, he can make some beats on it.
Soon again.
Right?
Yeah.
So tonight we wanted to discuss
creative social enterprise.
Creative social enterprise.
And how we could use the creativity of African children, African youths, especially those in the what we call at-risk communities, to bring them out of crime and also turn them from a life of poverty or continuing the negative cycles that keeping us trapped in poverty.
Yeah.
Because we see artists all around the world and things living like lords, and we had these people and them here might be doing a little painting here for somebody and getting scrums. I see grandson of a famous artist, so I can talk that talk.
Yeah.
So you good to have it today, Kevon. Plus I know him from before.
From before, yeah.
I know you from Akimbo. You were actually it's you put me on to Akimbo. Now I know you from before.
They say but you are
right?
Okay.
Yeah. Cool. That was a good initiative too,
Right, so Kevon, you can probably start by giving us a little background about yourself.
And you have many different ventures, because you're not involved in one thing.
Just one thing. I didn't even realize you had a YouTube channel too.
It's a lot. But it all kind of stems from the same place and they all kind of do the same thing.
Right.
So really and truly, I am the founder of For Common Good. So I'm in For Common Good here. So that is my non-profit arm. So For Common Good is an NGO that focuses on arts education and arts promotion.
Right.
And we have also extended into international cultural exchange.
Right.
And also focusing on how we can utilize the arts to affect social change.
Okay.
So that is the parent body of all of the things that I do.
Alright.
And For Common Good is kind of new, but it's not. So it's my initial NGO that we are transitioning.
Okay.
Right. ECR. So ECR I set up in 2017. So we're in April.
Yeah.
This year May will be 5 years. Yeah. And ECR is a name that I had from since I lived in the UK.
Right.
So I came back home in 2005 and I had the name ECR.
Right.
I didn't know what it was going to be.
Right.
And I was at Akimbo at the time and we decided that the better way to go would be to separate the ventures and I found a space, turned it into ECR and invited Akimbo to come as well as some other creative entities.
Okay.
So from the get-go ECR was supposed to be a creative hub.
Right.
Yeah, it wasn't just supposed to be me.
Right.
So there was supposed to be other entities there and we all had the same mission.
Okay.
Alright. ECR has since grown from strength to strength to strength in the we are arguably the cultural hub of the East. Yeah.
Agreed.
So anytime anybody who wants to do anything arts-wise, they literally come to ECR now.
Right.
So we have hosted Anime Caribe, we have hosted the Bocas Lit Fest Poetry Slam. So they come to Arima now.
Right.
So before there was no place for these people to come.
Right.
In December, we set up our Art Gallery East Studio, which is the only independent art gallery in Arima, or probably the East.
Okay.
And we have exhibitions ongoing.
Right.
So right now there's an exhibition up.
You all had one on was adult something the other day?
The East Erotica.
Yes.
Yeah, it was
Yes.
So we had a erotic art festival. It ran for 2 weeks.
Okay.
And that was really well attended, really good. But what ECR is a nurturing ground for talent.
Right.
And it's also an opportunity for the people in the East to be exposed to the arts.
Right.
Because it is known that Port of Spain has been the home of the arts.
Right.
But then how many of the consumers of the arts or the artists themselves are from Port of Spain?
Right.
So it was important to have something
In the East. Okay.
Yeah.
That's it.
Other than that, as you said, I have a podcast. I haven't done anything for the year. I'm starting back probably in the next 2 months because I started school.
Right.
So right now I'm in UWI doing a postgraduate diploma in Arts and Cultural Enterprise Management. So yeah, it's a mouthful. But again, it's right. Yeah, so that's why nothing with Green Violet and all these things right now because I have a lot of different entities happening, taking place at the same time.
Okay.
But but my mission, I believe, is to connect people. So that's why our focus is on, for the NGO part of stuff, to connect our locals to people abroad.
Right.
In 2019, in September of 2019, I had the distinct honor of being selected by the US Embassy here to take part in what they call the International Visitor Leadership Program,
Right.
the IVLP. It's an old program. And basically what it is that the United States invites persons from different fields to come to the States to see what their citizens are doing in that same field.
Right.
So mine was Art for Social Change.
Okay.
And it was myself and 17 other persons from around the world, all artists and artisans, leaders of organizations and stuff like that. And we spent 21 days in the States traveling to 4 different states. And I would have met dozens and dozens and dozens of persons.
Right.
And I decided that when I came back home, I wanted to give that same opportunity to our people.
Right.
Okay.
So for Common Good has 2 programs now. One, an adult program, is called the Arima by Louisville Exchange. Louisville.
Right.
Yeah, because that's one of the states I visited.
Okay.
And they were so inclined to partner with us, and the US Embassy is funding it right now.
Okay.
Right.
So it's basically a bunch of Trinidadian creatives who are being mentored by persons from there, and they are going to do local projects at the end.
Okay.
And we have a youth program which just started, so I have a bunch of youth who are getting the opportunity to meet all these other people I met from around the world.
Nice.
Yeah.
Alright.
It
So,
was a mouthful.
That's
good. I grew up around art. My grandfather, Louis Lovelace, was renowned as a natural artist. And I saw a lot of young people coming to him. I didn't understand it at the time. Right? But as an adult, I accept that art has a role to play. I want to know from you if you think or if you have any plans for using art to combat something like crime. Now, of course, we mean, some people just try to sweep.
Yeah.
we vernacular now.
Yeah.
How art go fight crime.
Yeah.
But really and truly, if you have something to do, you don't have time to go and do something else now.
Right.
And some of the problems we see in we communities is that they shouldn't have too much free time.
Yes.
Time to do nothing.
Yeah.
But when you can do something that you can look at and you hear other people bothering,
That nice boy.
that is motivation for you to do more of it now.
Correct.
If you have any kind of plans like that, or you're doing things like that already.
Yeah.
Especially again, for us here, this is in Afro-Trinity.
Right.
We tend to focus more on our. I know you have a wide-ranging program. You have a national and international program, but we want to focus on things that will help our community because the crime that we see is more found and centralized in our communities.
The artist areas, yeah. Well, yes. So in 2018, our first project was it was a youth arts enrichment program, and that has evolved into this international thing now.
Mm-hmm.
But what it was I got a bunch of young persons between the ages of 15 and 25,
Mm-hmm.
and over a 3-month period, they learned an in-depth course in visual arts.
Mm-hmm.
But while they were doing visual arts, we had a full-on gender-based violence prevention program that we built into that.
Wow.
So they were doing the two things at the same time.
Right.
And at the end, they had to then produce work that was informed by the stuff they would have learned.
Okay.
Yeah. So we have this program now that we could use to address any social issue, basically.
Mm-hmm.
But the draw is bringing them in to learn art.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because to get them in to come to another social program, I mean, it's going to be hard, and they're going to be as interested as they say, come in and learn art.
Right.
And a lot of those persons from the program have been, they've gone on to do well.
Right.
In terms of they have had exhibitions at this year, they've been in the papers, they've been on the TV, and they have continued with the art.
Right.
And they have continued to mentor younger persons as well. I'm not that young anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So I do not have the appeal that the younger persons would have for their peers. Right. And I'm not on the ground like that anymore. I'm not.
Right.
So it's really to sort of train them and get them to go out there.
Okay.
We have done community murals in Maloney. So we did a big community mural at the Clayton Inns Park.
Mm-hmm.
Big. We did one at the Paris School. We did at the Velodrome. We did at a park in La Hocketa. We've done one at the St. Mary Children's Home.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe in the power of what they call creative place making. So that is really about how you beautify a community, and they feel better about themselves too.
Yeah, of course.
So if you see those murals there, they have not been touched, they have not been mutilated, and they are really proud because they bought the paint.
Right.
They bought the paint and invited us in to come and do it. It's theirs.
Nice.
Right.
So it's these kind of initiatives that you have to use, not just to keep people off the streets or whatever, but for them to feel proud about where they live.
Part of something.
And be part of something. It's not me going in and doing this, it's you all doing this,
Yes.
and I'm just supporting.
Okay.
Yeah.
Based on that, what is the response like for, I don't know if for the seeking like corporate sponsorship or governmental help? What is the you have one time, because I mean, so you say something important there, you finish up by saying they haven't been touched.
Yes.
They did it.
Yeah.
And more importantly, it hasn't been touched because we know defacing things seem to be something we think cool and like to learn.
Yeah.
But you say do it, and the communities they call is mostly predominantly African communities, right? So they come together.
Yeah.
They put their money and their paint,
Mm-hmm.
and then they come and do the time and the paint up, and everybody watch it here, but just realize what you're saying they have many face. So that means it's something positive.
Of course, it's something positive.
And they understand that, right? But what is the response? Have you approached corporates at Trinidad for sponsorship? What is the response to that? Have you approached government for sponsorship, and what is the response to that?
Interestingly enough, I kind of operate on my own. I kind of operate as a free agent. But I don't think I ever received government funding for any of the programs.
Right.
We got a government contract to do a technical arts camp for adults, but that is a contract, so that's work.
Right.
So in terms of funding, but I've only applied to the government once for funding. Was not successful. But in terms of the gender-based violence program, which I spoke about, the first one, that was funded by a Trinidadian woman. Her name is Indrani Garadia. She had a foundation at the time called the Indrani's Life Foundation, based in Texas.
Okay. I know what I exactly where you say Trinidad, and so much she not living here.
No, she is Trinidadian, but she
not living here.
doesn't live here.
Yes,
She left here in her 20s or 19, young.
Okay.
And went to the States, she got married, and she was able to do really well for herself.
Right.
And as a survivor of gender-based violence, she decided that in her latter years, so like when she turned 50, she decided she was going to give her life to supporting gender-based violence programs.
Okay.
So when I was at PSI, where I worked before, she funded our gender-based violence campaign.
Right.
Yeah, she funded one in Trinidad and one in India. And when that came to a close and stuff, and I left PSI and all of that, is when I decided that I would do it on my own.
Okay.
So I took the program that we would have built to keep using it in my own program.
Okay.
And I asked her to support my first venture, and she did. Yeah. Second batch of funding came from the JB Fernandez Trust. So that is Fernandez. Sorry, as I like to say, no, it's finance. So as my boss, this is finance.
Okay, finance.
Yeah, finance. Because there's
Portuguese.
Portuguese. Yeah. So this fund, they fund programs in Trinidad and in Portugal only.
Okay.
Yeah. And again, PSI brought me a lot. So while at PSI, I helped write proposal for them, and we won it. And when I was in my own entity now, I reached back out to them, and they invited me to apply for funds.
Nice.
So that I got funds for that too.
Okay.
So all my funds have been external, and I'm getting from the US Embassy.
Okay.
So it's not really
anything.
Even though it's the JB Finance Trust, it is administered out of the States.
Okay.
You know, so I haven't really received a lot of local funding.
I asked that question because one of my elders at Egbe National Lumari, because I recently returned international to live, he decided to come back home to live an artist. Umidira no Gunladi, Ashe Cosmetic in Arima. Right. And he showed us some of the things he did while living in Canada. We even went across to America and do some stuff with schools. So this is, the people that you look at as having such rigorous systems, allowing an artist from Trinidad and Tobago to come into the school and do a program.
We're far behind, trust me.
Right. But now you come to Trinidad,
far behind.
And you can't, just to get a meeting with a ministry is a problem.
Right.
But this man have programs drawn up using art to reach out to children. So that's why I had to ask that.
Yeah.
And that's why initially when you said what we're going to talk about, I asked about using it to reach out to the children and them, because one thing I have learned, and I see it in my adult life, I went to watch basketball, the Hooper Life semi-final, I forget that. And I saw adults and children are like calling rules in basketball. I played basketball my whole life with men who don't know the rules, or they can do sweat.
Right.
Well, I went to watch the semi-finals. That was between Lavantil and Maloney that year. And saw adults talking the rules, quarreling on the sidelines about official rules
in the books,
and children talking about the same rules.
Yeah.
And it strikes me that it's because there's a part of something. This team is a Lavantil team.
Yeah.
Community. So a time back in that you say when you do the murals and other places, and nobody in the face it, because we
own that.
And we need more of that. So that's why I ask now
Correct.
about the funding. Because if we're serious about crime, and if we're serious about improving the lives in these communities, not just about pumping money in this and that, and it's about making something holistic that the people and them can actually feel that there's a part of now.
But also there's I think what has been really good for me, that's why I focus again as the topic today is creative social enterprise. Having worked in NGOs for most of my career, when funding done, you done.
Yeah.
Right?
True.
So I decided that I had to run my entity a little different.
Right.
In that, yes, my main mission will be the social mission, but we have to have an element of commerce in it.
Right.
So to be able to fund
other
these
things,
different things.
Right.
So even the youth vision to this For Common Good program, we had no funding. I literally went on to globalgiving.com, I reached out to whoever, I got people to sponsor children independently, and that kind of thing.
Wow.
And it's a global program. They're going to meet creatives from 10 different countries or something like that. But when we went into the primary school, to Maloney Government Primary School, it's an organization called the Little Keys Foundation. It's the Keys Foundation, their Little Fire program.
Okay.
And they already had a program within the school where they were teaching youth using drama and poetry.
Right.
And they asked us to bring in the visual arts.
Right.
So we came in and we spent a few weeks with them and it was the children themselves came up with all of the ideas for the murals. So we literally mirrored the entire school wall.
That's lovely.
But what was beautiful is that the Keys Foundation paid my artist as well.
Wow.
So most times, as long as I could get a little stipend or something from my artist, I get like I don't believe in the free thing either.
Yeah.
I mean, we would give up our time and stuff
Right.
if we really cannot give something.
Yes.
But again, these artists, I want them to see themselves as
as a professional.
professionals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So when you say art, I just want to be clear, it's not like drama and dance and all those things. It's just it's visual art.
We have mainly focused on visual art,
Right.
but we have the capacity to branch into other things. But for now,
That's
it has been visual art.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
So the ECR
Mm-hmm.
as one of the business ventures in it. I know one of the artists that is I like anybody that push the envelope.
Yeah.
I like people who are afraid to say,
What it's
Gary Martin.
Astro Clouds.
Astro Clouds. And just recently I started talking to him like about a month ago, and he was telling me, boy, if it wasn't for this COVID, boy, I would have been out of Trinidad doing my art thing, boy.
Yeah.
And that strike, man, I said, well, no, first I asked him, man,
Oh,
he said, boy, Kevon and them, we get a visa to go and do. Tell me a little bit about that now.
So again, this all stems from when I came back from the States.
Mm-hmm.
Because the IVLP program, I'll talk a little bit about it still, is the US State Department's premier program.
Right.
So the people who have gone to that program, like Maxwell Richards, Kamala Prasad, they have all IVL people. Yeah, so many of the world leaders have been IVL peers.
Okay.
Yeah, so I went with the mindset that I was going to make something of this IVLP experience. Because a lot of people just go.
Right.
You get to travel the States, whatever you get, and you get to meet people, but what do you do?
Yeah.
So that's why I came back in September, and by October I had drafted a proposal for the embassy. I'd spoken to the people in Louisville, and they wanted to partner. And that doesn't really happen a lot either, because a lot of the alumni don't really reach back out like that.
Right.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So it was a win-win-win. It was a win for the embassy, a win for us, a win for people in Louisville.
Yeah.
The World Affairs Council.
Right.
And I came back, and so I had all these young artists, and young and not so young artists around me, and I decided, how could I give them an opportunity like that?
Right.
So I had reached out to Grenada, the 1261 Grenadian Film Festival, because I had been in touch with the founder before, and I asked if we could collaborate in some way.
Right.
And she said, yeah, so we started to talk, and I was like, okay, we're going to come. Yeah, and we are going to partner on some events we're having there, do live art and stuff like that.
Right.
We had planned to go to the States as well, and Barbados, and I think one other spot. So all these things were locked down.
Right.
And we started to do fundraising.
No, before we go any further, I want to make it clear that having a plan, like we want to go to the States, you can't just go to the States.
No.
I want to make it to the people who are listening, for them to hear the kind of work what they're doing. That all they do everything necessary and secure the necessary
We had to
visas.
Yeah,
so they had the visas, they had, and working on that.
But even
we
we had to start from passports because a lot of them didn't have so.
Right.
And again, it was just showing people how you kind of have to get yourself in gear.
Yeah.
And always
be ready.
And always be ready.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the reason I want to stress that is to show the kind of work
There's plenty of work.
all they're doing now.
Yeah.
It's not just a matter, some people here as a barber. And you're trimming, but they never really sit down and study where they know is the courses are here.
Yeah.
How much zog you make here when you're doing this and that kind of thing.
It's
a way is no. So because Gary was telling me, when you say get a visa, we live in Trinidad. Each of us here know at least one person who went for visa twice and get blank.
Not one.
Right?
Plenty.
Right.
Yeah.
So to use
plenty.
that to show the kind of work that they're doing. And he was mentioning some of the Caribbean runs to go with that now.
Yeah.
So all it was going to go.
Yeah.
Now I bring up Astro Clouds because I know he said that he's going to have an exhibition.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about that, man.
I believe the name of the exhibition is Third World America. It was supposed to happen the year before, but it didn't. But it's Gary's first solo exhibition. He has a lot of work. We were talking beforehand. It's not. People might think it's controversial. It's not. It's thought-provoking.
Yeah, right.
So if you know Gary, if anybody listening knows Gary, you know Gary.
We got to bring Gary in.
Yeah, bring Gary. So this exhibition is in June.
Yeah.
Right.
And we have to go there.
You all have to come. You all have to come because it's going to be amazing. And he opens on the Friday. It's the first Friday in June.
Right.
And then Conrad Paris has his men's expo, the Better Man Expo, that is going to be built around Gary's exhibition, and that happens on the Saturday and Sunday. And it's really because Gary is speaking to men through his work.
Right.
Gary has lived and worked in the places that we see at the at-risk places. Gary has been at risk, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So that has informed his art, and we are creating a space for men to feel safe. So this is a men's event.
Right.
There'll be one or two men who may be facilitating things, but that's just one or two.
Right.
But it's really going to be an event for men. You should have Conrad on too at some point in time.
Yeah.
Before that,
I want Gary to do a mural in my yard so bad.
Yeah.
Because the length of my back wall, I have panels now. Just like how the garage is there,
Yeah.
same thing in the back. And I just afraid to ask him because I know he wanted to do it one time.
Yeah, he's I mean, I never forget my first meeting with Gary is like, I said, I don't even the shop I did. But them time I come out to the front of my father's business and he's like, so he passed and he said, you don't know why I'm looking for you, boy. I was like, what is that?
Oh, yeah,
I said, boy, you see my the African clothes, eh? Yeah, boy, you don't know. You know, and after that, it just went.
Yeah.
You know, and in speaking to Gary, he is so passionate. I think that one of the reasons I connect with him too, because I know I'm passionate about what I for.
Yeah.
You know, and listening to him and the way he just articulate, I really excited about actual, not just seeing one or two. He works on Facebook. But I really excited about it.
Yeah.
Because for me, the excitement now is to hear him talk about the pieces.
Yeah. But you all
he's going to be on a panel. He's going to be on a panel on the Sunday of the expo. And myself and two other persons that wouldn't say the names, I wouldn't say that, but it's going to be exciting.
Okay.
To hear him talk as
We'll
well.
be there.
Yeah.
So you all sell the so the artists, their work is available for sale and
It's
stuff
a gallery,
at the
yes,
exhibition.
yes, you can come and purchase.
Alright, cool.
Tell them, yeah, just
number 27 Prince Street, Arima. Just a block after the post office.
Alright, cool.
Yeah.
You have any information you want to give out? Because what we usually do is in the description of the video, we'll put in the NGO, we'll put in anybody who may be interested in getting their children involved and or the adults becoming involved or whatever. We want to give them the access now. So, you'll give me that and I'll put it in the description, right? And we'll also tag you in the video on the IG so that you can send it out and that kind of thing. But
sounds good.
I really enjoyed this video. I enjoyed this interview. I enjoyed it.
I say, based on here, I'm looking forward now to us going to Gary's exhibition.
Right. So it says two exhibitions, Gary.
Frame around one.
No,
one
exhibition is Gary's exhibition,
right?
And then there's the expo around it after.
Okay.
So it's going to be a Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
A weekend. Yeah. From when? Was it this?
The first Friday in June. I don't want to call it wrong day. So it's the first Friday. So I think it's June the 4th or something.
Okay. First Friday in June. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Nice. All right, cool.
So, thank you.
Thank you.
I know for sure, as I say, my first interaction with you was business.
Yeah.
And it was something that was so beautiful. Meaning, you allowed me to bring my stuff to you, sell, or I get, but it was another way avenue for me to put my stuff out there.
I'm coming back to you, So I'll be coming.
It's not a problem at all. Right?
Very soon.
I want to wish you all the best.
Thank you.
And all the blessed.
All the blessed.
And as always say like this, in all the positive endeavors. Right? Because I think we're doing will help and already helping a lot of young people.
I agree.
Right? And of course, I want betterment for the whole of Trinidad and Tobago. It's just that my focus is on African people.
Yeah.
Right? But
That's us.
and I think that once the African community is doing well,
Yes.
everybody will do well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, so all the best and all the best stay because what they're doing work.
Thank you.
What they're doing work.
Appreciate it.
Right?
Thanks,
Yeah,
thanks
we
much
go
for
some
coming.
again soon. Right? All you be safe out there, monitor with children, monitor with women. Too much of people missing
Yeah.
in this little 1.3 million place. Too
Yeah.
many people missing.
Yeah.
Let we start back to look out for one another. We used to do it.
Yeah.
I remember going on the road, I don't know what for that. I remember going on the road and Karen mother was what you doing here? What you doing here? Yeah, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now we
I didn't know what we did.
Yeah. Now we afraid to talk to the children in we communities and things.
Yeah.
But that is what the people who involved in that nasty business, that's what making them win.
Yeah.
Because we watching a child, we watching it, it's 8 o'clock in the night, you see that 7-year-old walking on. Like, what are you doing in here? As you could be how loud mouth and whatever, at 7 years old, anybody, adult could take you and go with you easy.
Correct.
Yeah.
So let them look out for one another, be safe on the
Please.
roads. You understand? Support local. We should the challenge again. 1 week.
Yeah.
1 week to buy from people within your communities where you need from them as much as possible. That's for 1 week.
1
And
week.
see the difference it makes. Yeah, to all the sponsors, all the best and all the best. My brother.
Goodness.